Laker Nation, welcome to the Lake Show. Giannis dominates and takes it to AD with 47 points as the Lakers lose to the Bucks 109-102. A couple of silver linings in this game. One being that THT was phenomenal this game. Has showed great promise for the future. And I'll get into that later on. But I'm going to go in on Anthony Davis, man. He will not be let off the hook. Anthony Davis completely wet the bed versus the Bucks and Giannis, man. When we needed him the most, he failed us, Laker Nation. And he will not be let off the hook. I will go in on him during this game recap. But, before I get into it, I want to say if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing for all things Lakers basketball. If you value objectivity, unbiased content from a student of the game's perspective, then you're in the right place. Consider subscribing. Laker Nation, show your boy some love. Swoosh that like button. And lastly, comment, like, share, and subscribe. Let's get down to the breakdown of this game and my thoughts overall in the game recap of the Lakers versus the Bucks. In the first quarter, I thought the Lakers did a good job offensively moving the ball, hitting some shots. They held the Bucks to 0-5, I believe, for their first 5 shots. I thought Russ did a good job distributing the ball this game and shot with confidence, had 7 points and 3 dimes to start the game. THC was scoring confidently from the field. It's going to pay dividends, man, once LBJ comes back, when the Lakers have their roster at full health, and when the starting lineup is solidified and rotations are solidified, hopefully, by Frank Vogel, this team's going to be better overall. But, having an additional ball handler and scorer besides Westbrook and THT, man, is going to pay major dividends for the Lakers. I mean, young legs as well, has shown great confidence, great arsenal of offensive capabilities, and THT, man, it's going to really benefit the Lakers, and I can't wait for K-Nunn to come back, Trevor Ariza, LeBron James, etc., etc. So our time is coming, Laker Nation. Be patient. It's going to be a lot of growing pains. But, Lakers went up as much as 10, but Giannis was able to, get to the rim at will. Being that the Lakers didn't have any paint protection, man, they're playing that 3-guard rotation. We talked about that last game recap. The Lakers are going to give up offensive rebounds and things of that nature. They're going to get beat up in the inside. And, AD was the only rim protector. So once Giannis is getting past AD, he's already at the rim. The defense is going to collapse onto him. And then that's when Pat Connaughton, man, had a big game. I think he had 16 off the bench, or if I'm not mistaken, for the Bucks. Or within the starting lineup. I think he's a starter. I'm pretty sure he is, but one of you guys could correct me if he isn't a starter or not. But either way, he had an effective game versus the Lakers, being that Giannis was able to get to the rim and he was able to open up the floor for him hitting his perimeter shot. And other guys were able to hit their perimeter shots as well. Giannis has 17 points in the first quarter, helping to keep the Bucks in this game within the first quarter as they were down by 10. And then the Bucks went on a zone defense, a 1-3, 1-1 type of box defense. And the Lakers didn't capitalize on the offensive end by getting, the ball in the middle of that zone defense, which slowed the Lakers down offensively as Giannis was able to, to cook inside. I thought Vogel should have kept, Russ in the game the entire quarter, because Russ was having himself a pretty good game, man. He was getting in the groove. He was starting to find, his guys. He wasn't turnover the ball. He only had 3 turnovers this game. And I thought Vogel should have kept him in. Vogel needs to, allow Russ to get his rhythm and not sub him out. So I thought he did a poor job with that as well. Russell Westbrook should have been playing more so in the first quarter. And so he had a pretty good first quarter. Like I said, 7 points, 3 dimes. Did a good job distributing, getting to the rim, things of that nature. Thought, he should have kept him in. But Russ was a catalyst in the Lakers getting that big lead by 10 in the first quarter. Lakers go up by 2 on a Rajon Rondo 3-point shot to end and close the first quarter, 32-30. And then AD finished with 8 points in the first quarter. Giannis with 17 points for the Bucks. Moving on to the second quarter, I thought Bobby Portis was a catalyst for the Bucks, man, getting the lead. He always galvanizes the crowd, really feeds off their energy, kind of gets them going, gestures a lot to them, man. He really does a good job of being a catalyst and involving the crowd. He had a really good second quarter. He was really taking it to Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard was slow to rotate and contest perimeter jump shots, retreating back to the paint on pick and roll defense. And then when he did hedge, Bobby Portis was able to slip the screen and get in the inside and score. And/or the Lakers would switch a lot, and he would have a smaller player on him and take him to the hole. Bobby Portis really helped and was a catalyst for the Bucks getting the lead. I believe they had a lead as much as 5 And Bobby Portis was the catalyst for that kind of stretch. And then speaking of the stretch they went on a 3-minute stretch where the Bucks, they offensively they went on a tear. They couldn't miss. And then you combine that with Giannis continuing to cook in the inside. And he had like 28 points in the first half, man. They had no answer for him tonight. The Lakers started to show no sense of urgency. They were allowing the Bucks to do whatever they wanted. Their rotation was slow in terms of containing Giannis, from keeping him out of the paint, things of that nature, and then contesting perimeter jump shots. They did a poor job, man, defensively in the second quarter and also in the third quarter. But they didn't rebound the basketball as well. The Bucks were able to get second chance points, and the only guy who showed like he wanted to win, man, this game was THT, a 22-year-old in his second year. Pitiful, Laker Nation, just pitiful. The rest of the team, man, gotta show heart. Can't be the only guy, the youngest guy on the team, man. When you got seniors and his peers who have more playoff experience and AD, etc., they got to show him a heart, man, and back him up. But, the Lakers got destroyed in the paint, allowing the Bucks to score 36 points in the inside. Crazy, man. Just crazy. No interior defense, no heart, no resistance whatsoever. And I didn't know what the hell Carmelo Anthony was doing on that inbounds pass, man. What the hell is he thinking? Man. I tell you, that's kind of how the season's going, Laker Nation. Lakers go down into the second half by 11 points, 64-55. Third quarter, second half, the Bucks started the quarter strong, but the Lakers countered, going zone, causing confusion for the Bucks, kind of showing them something different, which confused them. And the Bucks weren't decisive in their offense. It decreased. The Lakers were able to decrease the deficit to as much as 4 points behind THC and Carmelo Anthony hitting some perimeter jump shots. AD had a nice fast break facial dunk on Giannis. That's about the only thing that he did, man, because he didn't show up pretty much this game. Like I said, I'll get into him later on. But I liked Giannis's effort despite getting dunked on as he tried to get back. At least he didn't give up. That's the whole point. He was challenging AD at the rim despite getting dunked on. But it was a foul, and there was a major foul discrepancy this game, Laker Nation. The Lakers only had 12 free throws, and the Bucks doubled it with 24, and they were calling some bullshit calls, but I'll get into that a little later. Not sure why it wasn't a foul on Giannis, but it is what it is. Later down the stretch, Ellington hit a three-point shot and got the Lakers to within 1 point, 78-77. And then Lakers outscored the Bucks in the third quarter, 30-22 behind THC, who was impressive getting to the rim and finishing as well as hitting his perimeter jump shots. THC is showing he wants to be the third option, legitimate third option shit. Sometimes he shows that he wants to be the number one option. He's showing that he's a big time player for the Lakers. He's already proving that he's the third best player for the Lakers outside of AD and LeBron James. Russell Westbrook, I think, as a fourth option, man, is going to be super dangerous, especially once he gets his rhythm and he stops turning over the ball a lot. So I like this dynamic going on. It's going to be interesting to see how it unfolds. But Lakers showed good heart, man. They showed a good heart, and they were competing in the third quarter. After a poor finish in the second quarter and a slow start to the third quarter, Giannis finished the quarter with 35 points, THC with 21 points. Lakers decreased the deficit going into the fourth quarter by 2, 85-83. And then moving on to the fourth quarter, Vogel was on that bullshit, man, again. That Luke-ism bullshit, I'm going to call it. Overplaying bad rotations with Bazemore, DJ, and Wayne Ellington and Rajon Rondo, man. The Lakers were up by 2, and of course this fool decided to bring them in. Then Baze airballed a wide open 3-point shot, man. He is 6 for 32 from the field from 3, a dreadful 18% from 3. Just stop shooting, man. Keep this guy off the floor, Coach Vogel. Keep him off the fucking court, man, because he has been ass on both ends. And some Laker fans were hyping him up, saying he was a starter. Look, man, when you're on a bad team full of G Leaguers and Steph Curry, man, on the Golden State Warriors the previous year, prior to coming to the Lakers, your stats are going to be inflated. You're going to look good, but he hasn't done shit for us, and I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed by Kim Bazemore, and I would argue that he's a borderline G League player. That's my perspective. If you guys disagree, let me know in the comment section, but I don't see him as a viable option, and he's going to find himself soon out of the rotation. But once the Lakers are at full strain, man, he's going to be out of the rotation. Never overplay DJ and Baze at the same time. It's a recipe for fucking disaster, and Frank Vogel has to realize this. Otherwise, he's going to continue to hurt the Lakers. But Middleton started to shoot better and cook bum ass Bazemore. And the Bucks went up as much as by 8 points or so, I believe, in the fourth quarter. And in several possessions down the stretch, man, AD didn't touch the ball. I thought the Lakers did a poor job, and Frank Vogel, that's where he has to fucking do a better job in terms of creating more offensive cohesion and plays and sets for AD. There's no way that your best player and your best scorer should not get the ball. And while Pat Connaughton was also hitting open shots, Vogel once again has allowed this several games, not adjusting. Shit has to stop, Laker Nation. You can't continue to not adjust and allow your team to continue jacking up shots, not running any real offense. His job is on the line. His job is on the line. That's how I feel, Laker Nation. His job is definitely on the line. I do not see Frank Vogel returning as head coach next year, and that's likely why they signed him to a 1-year deal. But Carmelo Anthony, man, he had a hot season in terms of shooting the ball, particularly at Staples Center. But that doesn't mean continue to shoot, man. You gotta know when to stop chucking up shots, bro. Not every shot is that you have to take when you get the ball. Move the ball around, play more team ball, get team cohesion, and make things easier for your teammates. Because he's not gonna always hit shots. When you're going. But when Carmelo Anthony's not going, man, it's a hit or miss. And he has to be able to do other things on the basketball court other than just chuck up shots. And my issue with Carmelo Anthony has always been his shot selection. When it's going good, it's going good. When it's not, he's got to learn to temper that shit, and he doesn't know. But the Lakers could have stopped Giannis down the stretch, as well as Pat Connaughton. I thought the Bucks did a good job increasing their pace, and the Lakers did a poor job defending in transition. Pat Connaughton, Chris Middleton, they started to hit their shots, which really opened up the floor for Giannis, who ended the game with 47 points, shooting about 60 to 70% from the field. Lakers had no answer for Giannis, man. Giannis clearly showed that he's a better player than AD. Clearly. AD, bro, take notes. That's how you dominate and lead your team. Straight up just took it to AD and punked him in the Lakers, man. I wish AD grew a fucking pair, but he can only dream to be the player that Giannis is. And, he never will be. He never will be. It's clear. AD doesn't possess the heart. He doesn't want it, man. He didn't show up, and he only had 18 points to Giannis' 47 points. I don't trust AD to have the keys to the franchise, Laker Nation. I do not trust him when LBJ retires. He doesn't possess that dog in him. He's a number 2. He ain't that guy. He's done nothing consistently in his career to show that. He quit on the Pelicans, forced his way to the Lakers with Rich Paul and LeBron James, allegedly. And I don't see him as that guy. I don't. The Lakers need to find that, they need to find that bona fide superstar player after LeBron James departs. Once Russ's contract expires, because AD can't handle the pressure, man. He cannot handle the pressure yet alone. He can't keep himself in check. So, but very disappointing from AD versus Giannis and the Bucks. I don't want to hear anyone say that Anthony Davis is better than Giannis ever again. Fuck out of here with that bullshit, man. I don't want to hear that. He has not shown anything consistently other than the championship that we won. He has not shown anything consistently for me to believe that. I'm not convinced that he's better than Giannis. And truth be told, Giannis was always better than him. Period. He was always better than him. But I thought the refs made some questionable calls at key moments within this game. Hardly mentioned the refs, Laker Nation. But the Bucks doubled up on free throws, man. 24 to 12 down the stretch, which to a degree affected the Lakers' momentum. It's hard to compete when you're fighting a deficit plus bullshit calls. But nevertheless, I'm proud of my guys fighting. I'm proud of the Lakers fighting. They didn't lay down. They could have laid down flat after being down 11. They fought back, and they continued to fight back. And they had to lead a couple times. And after being down as much as 11, they showed some heart without LeBron James and some key players, K Nunn, Trevor Ariza, etc. Lakers showed a good fight, but Giannis was way too much for them. And then Pat Connaughton down the stretch, man, was able to hit some big shots as well. Lakers missed a lot of wide open shots, particularly 3-point shots. They got to stop jacking up threes and getting the inside, man. It's hard to come back when you're missing open shots. Wayne Ellington, Malik Monk, they combined for 1 of 7 from 3. And then Carmelo Anthony, 2 for 6, who are the Lakers' best shooters. And they were off. Lakers are now 8-8 on the season. Not at full strain, but no excuses, Laker Nation. They should be about, I want to say, 11-7 at the very least. They should be about 11-7. So they got to really look themselves in the mirror, man. They got to do some soul searching and got to ask, do they really want to be a championship team? They got to shift their mindset and find their identity. The coaching staff has to create, more of a player roles and an actual fucking system and an actual rotation, have a set rotation and offensive structure, man. This team has a lot of issues. 16 games in, not at full strength, no excuses though. But we cannot not have an identity. We cannot not have offensive structure, man. Frank Vogel has his work cut out for him. So, I don't want to hear any excuses in regards to those things not, being there, especially effort and intensity. You can bring that. Sure, you're going to struggle on offense and things of that nature, but you cannot not struggle on bringing energy, man. That should be a given. No excuses. A lot of question marks, Laker Nation. But, it should be better by game 25 or so. That's what, I estimate, because I evaluate quarterly or so. About 22 to 25 games in, we're close. I think that things will be a little more smoother. We haven't been at full strength, but still, once again, no excuses. And hopefully, the disappointment, the disappointing part, hopefully, they improve. But the disappointing part is that even with LeBron James out of the games, man, the Lakers' losses, they were very winnable games. That's the issue. Rob Pelinka built this team to withstand, injuries and be able to carry the load when LeBron James is out on the floor, whether he's playing or whether he's out from injury and low managing, etc. And it hasn't panned out thus far. Russ and AD can't even carry a fucking team, man. It's a damn shame that the Lakers are depending on a 37-year-old LeBron James. I can't believe he's needed that much, Laker Nation. It's quite ridiculous, but THC was the only one that showed heart. Besides Russell Westbrook, THC was playing like he wanted to win from the start. And like I said, man, it's a damn shame. 22-year-old showing more heart than his peers, particularly Anthony fucking Davis, who is allegedly going to be the leader of this team and the franchise cornerstone after LBJ retires, man. It's just sad that I can't depend on Anthony Davis. It's sad at this point in his career that I'm questioning him, whether this guy still has a fucking pair of balls, whether he can be the franchise player, whether he can stay healthy. This guy lacks hunger, he lacks heart, he lacks a killer instinct. The Lakers front office better make damn sure they get a superstar to pair with Anthony Davis once LeBron James retires, man, because AD is not, I repeat, he is not a number one option. He's not a superstar. He ain't that guy, Laker Nation. I don't see it. I am not convinced he's supposed to lead by fucking example. 18 damn points to Giannis' 47 points. LBJ is out, bro. We need you to step up consistently, put this team on your shoulders, but I guess that hurts, right? Everything hurts. Hell, AD sneezes, it hurts. And the brother can't stay healthy, man. So you can't carry a team. It's a damn shame. It's a damn shame. I'm disappointed in Anthony Davis tonight. He failed Laker Nation when we needed him the most. I need more from you, AD. I need consistency. I need less talking from you and more doing. No excuses. You're featured in the offense. LBJ is out, so you should be averaging 30 damn points a game or more. He don't want it enough, and that's a major red flag moving forward, Laker Nation. He's not that guy. He's not. He's a Robin to a Batman. I want to see a fired up AD next game after getting embarrassed and crushed by Giannis for 47 points to your 18 points, dude. Come on, grow a pair, man. AD, I'm challenging you to respond next game and onward. If the Lakers are being 8-8 at 500 basketball and getting flat out embarrassed and losing games to winnable games to teams that they should beat, if that doesn't wake you up, man, and put a fire on their ass, I don't know what will. Put up or shut up, bro. Plain and simple. Let's end this on a positive note, Laker Nation. Silver linings to this game are Lakers competed and they didn't get blown out. They could have folded when the refs weren't calling things for them and calling bullshit calls for the Bucks, and they were down as much by 11 a few times in this game, and they only got to the free throw line this game 12 times. They could have folded and they didn't. And then THD had 25 points, 12 rebounds. He's showing that in big matchup he isn't afraid. He's going to be able to hold his own against elite competition, put this team on his back if need be. The hype about THD is real, man. This kid is showing that he's a franchise building block for the future. Only 22 years old. Scary. And by 27, he's going to be really, really elite, and I look forward to that. He can be an all-star. Hell, he can be a superstar potentially, but he can certainly be an all-star. He's showing that, he will be the consistent third guy behind LBJ and AD. When this team is fully healthy, man, and at full strength, Laker Nation, watch out. Best believe we're going to be a better team. And then Russell Westbrook had 19 points, 15 assists, 3 turnovers. Props to Russ. He did a good job as a point guard. Played very well in terms of balancing his scoring and passing. It did really good in the first half. Had a solid third quarter as well. Had a solid game overall. Needed a little more for him, probably getting mid-20s or so. That would have helped during this game, especially when AD wasn't providing anything for the Lakers and just 18 points, man. Yeah, we need more from AD, but we could have used a little more from Russ. But only 3 turnovers. His assist-to-turnover ratio was solid. Props to him. He played well in a big game against the defending champs in the Bucks. All right, Laker Nation, I just had to let off some steam. Better show up, AD, man. I want to see a fired up AD next game. But Lakers got the Celtics next on Friday. Schroeder will be looking to get his revenge, so I look forward to that. The brother turned down $84 million. It's his fault. Hey, Lakers got 84 problems, but he ain't won, right? But it is what it is, man. The Celtics ain't doing so well to start the season. I believe they are 7-8, below 500, so it's a winnable game for the Lakers. So we'll see how the Lakers respond to this loss versus the Bucks going in to play the Celtics on Friday. I hate losing to Boston, man. So let's get this W, Laker Nation. Comment, like, share, and subscribe. Peace out, Laker Nation.